Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and now it's time to talk the South Park Season 20, Episode 4, or rather, the episode titled Wieners Out. Time to talk the highlights, time to talk the top moments, the 5 top moments to be exact. Now guys, before we get into that, I actually do want to say, I felt this was a really strong episode. Maybe it wasn't the funniest, but it was very strong, especially the callbacks. The callbacks in this episode were like really on their game. There were quite a few ones. There was the callback to the WoW troll. There was a callback to Butter's girlfriend. That was pretty cool. Man, I know there was one more. Why am I not remembering it? Oh, damn. Damn, that's gonna bother me. That's definitely gonna bother me. Anyway, the callbacks were strong. Oh yeah, Tweaking Craig. Yeah, overall the callbacks were really strong in this episode, and I had to appreciate that. Now there was also a very clever line that was snuck in there when Gerald was having his moment, and that was a room about locker room humor. And that line is important because I'm pretty sure that's the South Park creators making a jab at Donald Trump from the debates on, I think, Sunday night. So that line's inclusion in the episode, you have to appreciate it when South Park does those last minute additions. Anyway, let's get into the top moments. Overall, I did think this was an awesome episode because of the moment. So let's start with number 5 for me. It was pretty much Eric's speech and Kyle being shut down by Eric. Now, it was just a great thing to see Kyle kind of just breaking down when Eric is there and he tells Kyle that he saw a vagina. And we got to find out exactly how it happened. Eric was very far away. So overall, it's the tame. It was pretty tame. Students keep being students. Kids keep being kids. All is okay in the world except Cartman has now seen things that Kyle hasn't. And well, actually, I don't know. Kyle's seen something. Anyway, just Kyle's kind of no words at Eric was just... It was nice. It was right. Everything was right in the world that moment. I do feel really bad for Heidi though because it's Eric and I just cannot trust Eric at all. I can barely throw Eric. There's no way I'm trusting him more than that. So that's going to be interesting to see where exactly the Eric plotline goes in this particular season. The next moment I very much enjoyed was pretty much the culmination to Gerald's storyline in this episode, or rather Gerald's trail of lies ending in a trail of stuff. Now, and the fact that his sons witnessed said event. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Gerald storyline in this particular episode, it didn't feel that strong, but seeing that it ultimately ended with Gerald getting peed on, it's alright. It's alright. I'm glad to see that he got his comeuppance in that regard, and it was just funny to see that Sheila does care about Gerald so much that she would try to do these weird things. I just wonder, why didn't they just lock the door? That could have saved a lot of kids scarring. The next moment I enjoyed was PC Principal. He had a very subtle moment in this episode, but I liked it because of the point that he was bringing up. PC Principal had a PC conundrum, and it ultimately comes back to the idea of fairness because he let the girls have the right to protest the national anthem when a certain other character did it in his own unique way. The PC Principal really couldn't do much because he thought he would be infringing on someone's right, and because Butters had taken that next step and had used his body in certain ways, the principal just did it. It was gonna be a PR disaster. So I like it just because it tackles that notion of if one side does it, the other side should be allowed to protest in an equivalent manner, because it's not really the same manner. And yeah, it was just a very interesting idea. It was very fun to just see it happen, and I like that PC Principal was used in such a clever way. Anyway, the next moment I very much enjoyed, and now we're getting into pretty much my favorite moments in this episode. It was very funny. We're starting off with Butters' Uncle Kyle rant. It was the first step. It was right after Butters had been dumped by his girlfriend. His rage had taken over, and he was just turning people against Kyle. Now that was pretty good. I love it when Butters starts to get kind of mad and annoyed because it's the most entertaining thing. Butters being annoyed is the most entertaining thing. And this episode really took it to the next level when Butters figured out how to protest that national anthem. If only Garrison had figured out what Butters figured out. But that moment when Butters was just really there, Kyle thought everything was going to be okay. But Butters, he was angry. He was angry and he just stared. And then we see what he did. Dropping his pants and just taking his wiener out. Man, that little boy has balls. Anyway, that moment and his subsequent parades, very strong moments. Butters did it better than Kyle for sure. And it's just funny seeing him do it with such a straight face. It was a nicely done scene. I very much love it. Like, Butters has these weird postures that he's usually put in. And this one is one of the ones I very much enjoy. So, Butters did win the episode for me just because of how spirited he was throughout. And yeah, that's pretty much my top moments for this episode. Peeps, tell me what you thought. What moments stood out to you? What did you very much enjoy? I am excited for next week. This week ended with Gerald kind of going to his troll thing, his troll meeting. I like that the trolls kind of majority of them are ugly and have like those really exaggerated facial features. Those were kind of facial features that Gerald also had in the first episode or second episode in his shadow. So I do wonder if Gerald's face is going to end up kind of morphing into a more trollish kind of looking face. Anyway, peeps, that's pretty much it for me. South Park this week was relatively tame on terms of the topic matter, but it delivered in a lot of callbacks and really just a lot of funny moments and really strong moments for Butters. Anyway, peeps, I think I'll leave it there. Till next time, I hope you have an excellent day.